Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome in to My Crochet Story. I just thought I would pop on here for a little while this evening and let you share with you some things that I've been working on to upload on the channel. I think I mentioned in a live a day or so ago, my brain has just been in overdrive because I love this time of the year. It's not only because the temperatures are getting cooler, but I just seem to be inspired a little bit more to start designing. So that's what this episode is all about. I want to share with you some of the things that I'm working on that I'll be presenting to you in the coming months and just chit chat a little bit along the way. But before I get into showing you what it is that I have, let me say thank you to each and every one of you popping in here for just a few minutes. Please be sure to hit that like button and leave me a comment. After everything you see today, tell me what it is that you're most excited to see. If this is your first time here, welcome into you as well. I do hope that you'll enjoy today's episode. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, looking for the bell with the cute little hugs on the side because it'll let you know every time I upload some content. Well, here we are for content. So let me tell you what's been happening over here in My Crochet Stories schoolhouse. So you all know that one of my most favorite things to create is hats. Now, I am excited to share with you the fact that on Twisted Fiber Friends this Sunday, we will be presenting to you one of my 2025 creations. And I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek. I'm not going to tell you anything about it other than this is my mock-up. Isn't it cute? I think it's cute. The pattern has already been tested, made the corrections, which she is all ready to go. And so if you're interested in looking for a new little hat design, well, you'll get first choice at it come this Sunday, because as I said, we will be offering it up to you at Twisted Fiber Friends. And if you don't know who we are, I will leave you a link to this week's episode. It will be over at Froggy Winter Knitting's house. You'll find a link for the upcoming live down in the description box. So be sure you go and click on it and hit the notification bell to notify you when it comes up. Now, one of my other hats that, well, in fact, I have two other that are completed here. I have probably 6 or 7 hats already written out, and that doesn't even count the hats that I wrote and worked up last year and never got around to making videos on. So, yeah, that's probably one thing that you're going to see quite a bit of over the next several months is my hats. Because I tell you what, you can't just get by with 1 or 2 hats. You got to have lots of them, you know? So this little hat is being tested and worked out. She should be ready to go here in just another day or two. Now I'm really happy about this other one because it kind of has a Texas name to it, and that's all I'm going to tell you. But she will be coming out like within the next week maximum. There she is. I'm very proud of this one. And I do hope you can see some of the texture built in there. Tell me what you think the stitch on that might be. Or what do you think this hat's name is? Because it does have a name. So, as I said, you'll be seeing some hats dumping pretty soon. Those I'm very excited about. Now, many of you know that I have been working on this. It is a sweater scarf. Now, I think somebody in their little video was trying to take the 2 words and put it together. I thought it was funny, but I can't remember what they named it. So anyway, this is made with the Mandela Joy ombre yarn, and she right now is at about 36-inch length. She is about 16 inches, and when I get her to about 66, so I've got about 30 more rows to go. Then I will finish off one edge with a little picot trim or a shell trim. I haven't made up my mind which. I'll see which one looks the best. And then I'll work about a 10 to 12 inch cuff on both ends and finish out the other side. And yeah, then she'll be all ready to be shipped off to my granddaughter for Christmas. I'll probably tuck in a little gift card to maybe one of her favorite little eateries. We'll see. But as I said, many of you have already seen that. This is going to have an overall measurement of 16 inches wide because she is a little bitty thing. I mean, if she's in a small, I'd be surprised. But anyhow, excuse me, it is going to measure about 16 inches wide and around 100 inches all total by the time we get the body and the cuffs all put on there. So that's working out real good. Let's see. A few weeks ago I ran across a stitch on Rich Textures Crochet Sarah. It's called the Ocean Wave Stitch, and I really liked it. Now folks, I worked and I worked and I worked, and I so wanted to make this into a hat pattern because I just thought it was so cool. It's rich in texture, but the texture itself, although it's nice and squishy, does not have the stability to be worked into a hat. Now maybe a slouchy hat, but just let me show you. So it is going to be a scarf, which whenever I work up, I mean, I do have the pattern, you know, written down in my book, but once I get it ready to go to print, I'll show you how to change it into a wrap if you would like. But there she is. That is the Ocean Wave Stitch. Now, in order for it to work up the way I wanted, I had to do a little bit of modification down here at the bottom to give it some structure so it wouldn't curl. And I kind of changed up how you start and end. But pretty much it is still the same stitch. I am using, again, Mandela's ombre yarn. This time it is the Mantra. So it's going to have some really nice ocean colors, some blues and greens, a little bit of it's not a purple shade, but anyway, maybe it's so dark a blue that it looks almost purple. But by the time I get finished with it, it is going to give off that vibe of being colors of the ocean. Now let me show you why it did not hold up well to being a hat. I want you to notice the stretch there. See how those stitches open up, and even this way. So it did not have the stability I felt like it needed in order to make a nice pretty hat. So it's going to be a scarf and a wrap, as I said, to finish out. Let's see, what is the next thing I have going here? Yes, I had to go to my trailer because I've got a lot of my yarn stored over there, and I was looking for some particular colors to bring back, which irritated my husband, but he loves me, so he did it anyway. In fact, he brought more than just one tote. We kind of came back with 3, but that's okay because one tote I found some unfinished projects, and one of them that I had started but had to put down because we were shifting from one place to the other is this little hat scarf. Now, it was all the rage last year, and I still think that it's a really good idea, but it is a scarf. So there is my scarf. It's pretty long, and it has the hood already attached to it. Now, I haven't got it sewn together yet, but I also found the skein of yarn that went to it, so I will be finishing this project. And yes, I did find my book that had the pattern that I had designed up in it, because once I stitch it together, I'm going to do something a little long here, you know, for the edging, so that when you do pull it up, if you want to leave it open, you know how it's wrapped around your head, it kind of does a little bit of nice framing instead of just being a little pointy thing sticking up there. But also so that if you don't want the hood, whenever it lays back down across the back here, it looks like a really nice big thick collar around your neck. So I was very happy to find this project, and it'll be something that I can get out of the way, get finished, and that always makes me happy. Doesn't it make you happy whenever you run across a unfinished project and you're in the mood to finish it, number one. Number two, this is going to free up another project bag for me, folks. So, yes, I was very excited to find this so that, like I said, I can get it finished and possibly get it out there as a gift to someone. I told you that I was designing some hats. Well, I have another one here, another design here on the hook. I'll just give you a little quick gander at it. It's just still now in the stitching and writing and tearing it apart stage, you know, so haven't quite figured out exactly what it's going to be when it grows up, but I am playing with a couple of stitches. Now, heads up, folks, this does use a combination of the front post and the back post, and I know many of you do not like the back post double crochets, but sometimes they're just necessary in order to carry out the design that you're looking at. So be forewarned when you see this one come up here, and it'll probably be a couple of weeks before this one is even ready for me to film out, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing and how it's coming together, so hopefully you'll like it too whenever it hits the road there. All right, now many of you know that I purchased this Gnomes to Crochet while I was in Tennessee here at the end of September with all of my yarny friends. And I also showed you that there was a little gnome in here that just, I didn't even know he was back there, folks. I was looking to see what yarn I was going to need to make the Santa, let's see, oh yes, to make the Santa Claus, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. That's what I wanted to make. And then I ran across at the very end, because I didn't go all the way to the end, this cute little gnome. Now let me describe him to you, because I'm going to show you a card here in just a moment that has two gnomes that I'm going to be working on at the same time because I think they go together. Now this little gnome that I ran across at the very end of her book, and I will leave a link to where you can go and purchase it if you would like to, especially if you're into gnomes like I am. But whenever I saw it, I immediately knew that I had to make it. So let me show you the card, and in fact what you're going to see here is this little gnome plus who he helps at this time of the year. So let me show you the card. There is the Santa gnome. I've had him for a couple of years. In fact, I need to say thank you to Froggy because she shared that little Santa gnome there sitting, and I've had it on my list to make. I just love him sitting there with his little legs and everything. But the little gnome next to him came out of this book, and his name, as you can see there, is Scandy the Shelf Sitter Gnome, which I think is a very nice option for those of us that have maybe outgrown the shelf on the elf. Yes, shelf on the elf stage. Like I said, if you love gnomes, folks, how can you not make this cute little guy here? So I will be putting those two, I'll be working on both of them, folks, at the same time. I just got my yarn in a couple of days ago, and you know, there for a few minutes I was really afraid that I had not purchased a light enough gray, but when I pulled it out and looked at it, it's like, oh yes, this is going to be wonderful. So I'm really excited to get started on them. Now the last thing I have to show you, I do hope to get it done this year. Not only the prototype and the writing of it, but well, let me just show you. A few days ago, well, in fact this past Sunday when Daniel was on with me, he sent me a link to a ceramic Santa gnome, and I fell in love with it. It's put out by Thomas Kincaid, and here's the picture. Isn't that just gorgeous? So immediately I thought, I can make that. I can make that into a Santa gnome. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to replicate as best as I can without any, I mean, I don't think there'd be any infringements. I mean, because I'm going to be crocheting. It's not like I'm going to be casting it. But anyway, I'm going to design my own as close as it can be to the Thomas Kincaid ceramic gnome there. Listen, folks, I am a huge fan of Thomas Kincaid and everything that he does. His paintings, anything that comes out with his name on it, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to fall in love with it. And this, most certainly, I have. If you watch Daniel and I speak about ceramic Christmas trees, you know that I grew up with them. My mother made all of us, and my girls one when she was into ceramics for a few years. So having this Santa ceramic gnome replica in a crocheted form to sit next to that Christmas tree one, yeah, I just think it's going to be gorgeous. So those are some things that I'm working on. Those are some things I hope that you will look forward to coming in the next couple of weeks, right up to Christmas time. And, you know, right after Christmas, there's still so much of winter left, especially here in the United States. So don't be surprised if I keep dumping on you hats after hats after hats. And maybe a couple of scarves and maybe even a sweater or two. Who knows? Thank you all so much for stopping in and let me chit chat with you. I hope that you're excited to see some of these things that I am designing and working up, because I want to tell you something. I have so much buzzing around up here in my head that I'm trying to get out and that I really want to share with you. So I do hope that you'll look forward to some creations that are coming down the pipeline here over the next several weeks. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you don't mind, take just a minute. If you really enjoyed seeing what I'm going to have popping up on my channel, share this video out. It sure would help my algorithm. And I know that there might be someone else like to see some of the ideas that are running around in my head. As always, folks, please remember to be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your special light they're needing to see. I love you guys. Bye.